What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our PGA DFS Sleepers show for the 2021 RBC Heritage. Before we go to Harbour Town, Craig, let's look back at the Masters, and guess what? We crushed it. I mean, you got Zalatoris and Connors up there, but I got to say, there were 4 golfers inside the top 10, under 7,500 on DraftKings. You know, that's our threshold. There was 4 of them. We picked 3 of them, baby.
Trying to think of who the other one was.
Rose. It was Rose. We talked about Rose.
Oh, I was going to say Harmon was just outside. He was 12, I think.
Yeah. Zalatoris second, Leishman T5, Connors T8. 2 of our sleepers were in the Millie Maker winners. So, yeah, it's great. I also want to give a couple shout outs.
Unfortunately, that was not us who were the Millie Maker winners.
Yeah, that was not us. I want to give a couple shout outs to people who picked sleepers. In our comments, we had Brent Harris called Brian Harmon with the T12. That was a pretty good pick. Mm-hmm. And William Neal picked Palmer and McIntyre. McIntyre was T12 and led the field in birdies, as we know.
Yeah. Both good picks.
Both good picks. Leave your best or your favorite sleeper for the RBC Heritage below in the comments. Under 7,500 is our threshold if you're watching for the first time. Also, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Craig, we're going into 6 sleepers, 3 each. Should we just do it?
Yep, you're up first here. Let's jump into it.
I'm up first, and I'm going all 6, Craig. I'm going all 6 here. I don't want to spoil any of Craig's picks, but he's going to play some of the favorites, some of our classics as a band. I'm going on the B side. I'm going to play some of the lesser-known tracks, the new stuff. I'm playing the new stuff.
Oh, classic hipster.
Matthew NeSmith is my first sleeper, 6,900 on DraftKings. He's 55th on FanDuel. He's 8,456. Recent form, his last 7 events, he has 5 top 36s, 3 top 20s, 2 missed cuts. A little bit all over the place. He was doing really great on kind of the West Coast swing there. A little bit back to life now. He has played at Harbour Town once before. That was in 2020, and he plays 33rd. His strokes gained total average per round there was 1.37. But looking at, kind of the stats that I'm looking for that I think have a good profile for Harbour Town, I'm looking at, approach, accuracy, some Pete Dye correlation, those kind of stats. So he's 8th in strokes gained approach, 0.78. This is the entire PGA Tour. This isn't not just the field. This is the entire PGA Tour for this season. He's 8th, and he's 42nd in driving accuracy, 65%. Good enough. Meets that threshold. He's not spraying it all over the place. He kind of hits that threshold that I think you need to have here.
Yeah, and I would say probably more accurate than he is long. So that is the type that you want here.
Yeah, exactly. And Craig, I like that narrative street. It's his second home. He's a South Carolina boy. Apparently, I'd have to double check this, but apparently he proposed to his wife, his girlfriend, his fiance here, proposed here.
So it was a successful proposal?
I guess it was successful.
Okay.
I guess it was, yeah. I don't know
if you really bring them up if they're not the successful proposals. I like NeSmith. I would say, so we kind of have a few different flavors here for sleepers. He would be, I think one of the best high risk, high reward types. I think his, his potential to finish top 10, top 5, maybe higher than some of the guys I'm going to bring up around that price point. But maybe his miscut probability would be a bit higher, which, depending on what the rest of your lineup looks like and all those type of things, the high risk, high reward can be a great GPP play.
Yeah.
Speaking of the other side of things, I'm going right to the top. Chris Kirk, 7,500, 31st on DraftKings, 9,300, 30th on FanDuel. To me, this is a bit of a misprice, and I think he's going to end up chalky because of it, but I will definitely have, he may be close to my highest owned guy. Definitely my highest owned guy, below maybe 8,000 or something like that, because this just is a tremendous value to me. So you look at his just raw strokes gain totals, 3, 6, 12 months. He has been 11th, 14th, and 31st in the field. So, over the full 12 months, he is priced about accurately. But then you look at what he's done over the past 6 months or 3 months, he's gaining over a stroke and a half in the last 3 months. So I just see tons of value in that. Now, even more than just the strokes gained total, when we look at how those stats fit into this course, he's 11th tee to green. This is for the 2020-2021 season, and he's gaining at least 0.17 strokes gained in each category. He's very strong in approach. He's very strong around the green. Mm-hmm. Those are both very important things this week, but he does everything well. He's 8th in the Grandstand Golf model. That's not 8th in value. That's 8th. Yeah. He's priced 31st. He's the number 1 value in the model. So to me, that's the kind of thing I love. 11th tee to green in the field. Like it just feels like this price is a bit off to me. So I'm going to be using that to make as strong a lineups as I can. It's kind of like Zalatoris. I knew, or Connors. We knew both those guys last week were going to be fairly highly owned, but I think they're still good plays. So hopefully Chris Kirk is the same thing this week, where he's highly owned but still a good play. Form is good. Last 8 starts, 7 cuts made, 6 top 25s, 3 top 10s. That to me kind of sums it all up there for you.
Yeah, 6 of 8 top 25s. He's priced 31st in a field that's, kind of middle of the pack field. It's not a weak field. It's not kind of a major field. It's not WGC. It does kind of seem like a slam dunk, like you said. Maybe just eat the chalk here. Just get the ownership. Maybe go over, like you said, if he's going to be one of your highest owned guys. Yeah.
Try to find a way to be overweight on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like a slam dunk.
Yeah.
But flipping over that record, we're back on B-side track 2. We're going Brice Garnett. I'm going to give you a couple guys. I'm going really low this week because I love a lot of the guys up top. I said in our pick show, those answers, those Canlays, I'm fitting them in because I feel like there's actually some pretty good value cheap here at minimal ownership. So Brice Garnett fits that mold. He's 6,400 on DraftKings, 89th on FanDuel, 7,800. He's 80th. He's been a little bit boomer bust recently, which I love for GPP. So his last 5 events, 3 top 25s, 2 of which are top 10s. He was 9th at Corrales Punta Cana and 5th at Puerto Rico. Yes, I know those aren't exactly the most stacked fields, but those are still good finishes. Brandon Grace, those kind of guys, like they're winning. So he's doing really well at those kind of
Plus those events. Courses are near the ocean, and this course is near the ocean. So
coastal, baby, coastal, you know it. But with that, we're talking about a guy that's priced 6,400. He has 2 missed cuts as well in his last 5. That's fine. His history at Harbour Town here is kind of what pushed me over the edge along with his stats. So he's 5 of 6 made cuts here. I think for someone priced here, that's really good. He has 2 top 20s, so he's getting into that kind of area where he really pays off where he's priced. His strokes gained total, when you look at a sample size of 18 rounds, which is a pretty decent sample size, is almost a stroke. So 0.93. So a really, really, really good fit for the course, a horse for the course. I really like him here. Now his ranks, how does he rank? This is, again, the entire PGA field. I feel like this is exactly what you need for Harbour Town as well. 8th driving accuracy at 70%. 9th scrambling, 65.82%. Greens and regulation, strokes gained approach isn't as high as these other guys, but if you can scramble and get around these greens, these Pete Dye greens, I think that will do well for, maybe not pushing for that win, but getting that at top 20 upside.
Yeah, no, I like it. I forget what tournament recently I had picked him, and I think it might have been one of the bust weeks that I ended up playing him, but I can't really remember. I think, to me, this is where you do get a lot of names, and they can start to blend together, but I do think he is one down there that you can see the value. I think the boom bust gives you, it gives you the intrigue, and then with a bit of a safer cut made record at the course, then you're like, okay, so if he still has that boom, and the bust is a little bit safer, that's a pretty good combination. My next one here, this is probably, I would say, compared to some of the boom busts, this to me, if you want a safer play, I think Brendon Todd is an extremely safe play. He's 7,300 on DraftKings, 37th in pricing, 8,800 on FanDuel, 42nd in pricing. You look at what he's done over the past 12 months, his long-term form, his 12 months form is a little bit better than his most recent form. So, 3 months, 6 months, he's gaining, over a half stroke, not quite a full stroke. And then you look at, and that's sort of 31st to 35th in the field. And then you look at the 12 months, it's almost a stroke he's gaining. He's 22nd in the field. And actually, if you flip over, this is from Data Golf, if you flip over to the 2 years there, it goes up even more, because then you start to get a few of his wins from the 2019 fall. Yeah, so his long-term form is, I think, a little bit better than the recent form, but still in the recent form, this is why I think he's a safe play. So you look at his last 11 starts, there's only 1 missed cut there, but there's only 1 top 10 there. So, we're getting a lot of that middling play. He's been tied for 46 or better in 9 of the 11. So, we're getting the middling play. It's not like he's just making cuts and finishing 60th, though. So I still think there is value in this. We know he can get hot and win. So I like depending on where else you have gone, maybe you have a riskier play up high or, in the mid salary range. And I want a safe cut maker that It potentially has top 10 upside, but it doesn't need to be. I think Brendon Todd is a great play at that point. Driving accuracy, this is where I went for the chef's kiss, because this is a course where driving accuracy is key. He's first for the 2020-21 season, 73.5. For the full 2020 season, he was fourth at 71.4. So that's the kind of person you're looking for at this course. And so, I think everything kind of lines up for it to be a good Brendon Todd week.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to the Masters, we said do your independent research. And if you're doing your independent research, you're building a custom model or whatever it may be, and putting, you think putting's going to be huge, Brendon Todd's your guy. I mean, he's one of the best putters, I think.
Stroke on the season.
Yeah. Yeah. Even when he's having his off weeks, off days, he's such a good putter. Yeah. So if that's something you want to lean on, great. I don't know exactly. I mean, he kind of seems like a guy that might be like a last man in for rosters, but I haven't kind of built those rosters yet. I'm not sure. I have to see who else is priced around there, but like you said, nice kind of steady play.
Yeah, and I would think compared with a Matt NeSmith, who's such a good ball striker, and you're like, okay, if the putter is good, Brendon Todd's more like the Kevin Knott, where like if the putter gets crazy, then he can really do well. But yeah.
My last one here, I'm going Ben Martin, 6,400 on DraftKings. He's 89th on FanDuel, 7,700. He's 84. So when we're going down here, a guy that's kind of flipped around a couple tours. So 4 straight cuts made, 3 in the PGA, 1 on the Corn Ferry Tour. He has a 9th at Corrales Punta Cana. Again, pretty good record, cuts made coming in for a guy this price. But looking at his record at Harbortown, again, 5 of 6 made cuts. He is popped though. In 2014, he popped for a 3rd place finish. Looking again at his entire kind of history here, he has 22 rounds in total. This is pulled from Data Golf as well. So his total average stroke gain total per round of those 22 rounds is 0.57. Again, for this price, that is very, very, very strong. So what are his stats that kind of correlate well with this course? So he's top 50 in kind of some of those major stats I was talking about. Strokes gained around the green, he's 28th. Strokes gained putting, he's 36th. Driving accuracy, he's 41st. These are for the entire PGA Tour season. And again, this is for the entire PGA. So guys that aren't even playing in the field. So I feel like he has again, kind of like Brice Garnett. He has the stats that match up here, the history, and kind of some recent form you can definitely build off.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. The only thing I can think is I just wish he went by Benjamin, because then he'd be Benjamin Martin. Do you know the reference?
I don't.
Benjamin Martin, Mel Gibson in The Patriot. Oh man,
sure.
It's a great
aims. Hey, Ben Martin, aim small, miss small.
Aim small, miss small. Exactly. Okay, last one here, and then we'll get out of here. I'm going play the hits. That's what I'm going with. Doug Ghim, 6,900, 55th on DraftKings, 8,500, 52nd on FanDuel. To me, it's just a value play. I think a straight value play. 3, 6, 12 months. He is 37th, 30th, and 45th in pricing. All of those kind of between a half stroke and a full stroke. So far this season, this is 2020-21 season, not just the calendar year, 15 starts. He's got 3 missed cuts. So 12 out of 15 times we're getting to the weekend. 9 top 40s, I'll take those. 4 top 20s. So you're getting kind of about just over a 25% chance of, a really good GPP finish, and then a fairly good chance of that top 40, which is what we're looking for, to keep those 6 of 6s alive. But then you combine that with a good course fit. He's more accurate than he is long, which is really what we're looking for. We don't necessarily want the bombers at this course. It just doesn't fit them that well. So he's more accurate than long, and he's got strong approach and around the green play. Those are his 2 strengths. So I think his strengths match up well to the course. I think he's value at the price just in terms of strokes gained total. It's just another classic Doug Ghim play here for me.
Yeah, throw in Doug Ghim into the player pool. Why not? Yeah. He's been popping enough.
He's been providing returns.
He has been providing returns, that's for sure.
Okay, that does it.
Thank you, everybody. That's it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We have our live DFS show on Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. That's where we each go through our player pool, talk about the percentages. Craig is going to go crazy and get Chris Kirk 65%, and we all going to kind of laugh at him together on the show. So make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to make sure you're notified for that show. And last thing, like I said, plant your flag, 7,500 and below, your favorite sleeper. Let us know. We'll give you that shout out in next week's show.
Yep. Good luck, guys. Have a good week.
See ya.